Did you miss me? It is so good to be back. Welcome to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. At a later date, I might get into why I haven't done one of these for so long, but you know there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I need to get to it, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first up, the big shocking news that was released yesterday. Um, Released being the operative word. It was put out on WWE.com that Austin Aries had been released by WWE. As well know, he was becoming a cornerstone of the cruiserweight division. Well known in one of the indie darlings. And, well, to say his bump up to the main roster has been less than stellar is an understatement. And from what I gather, he developed, at least what's being said, is that he was developing a bad attitude and he wasn't happy not only with his place in the Cruiserweight division, but with the Cruiserweight division in the hierarchy of WWE. Now, as we all know, Aries has done some wonderful things in outside of WWE. He was the first ever, he was the first person to hold the Ring of Honor World title more than once. He was the guy that instituted what was known as Option C and TNA. Regardless if that's still going to happen, going on with whatever the hell Anthem's doing, nobody really knows. But it's also said he was he had developed a back injury, and that was kind of part and partial to, excuse me. No one really feels good when they get injured, of course. But it does make sense if he asked for his release. So which is what it said is he asked for his release and it was granted. Of course, no one knows what the future holds. We should see him in another wrestling organization fairly soon. I'm assuming on the indies. Probably Anthem will try to snatch him up for Global Force. Like I said, we don't know what the future holds for Austin Aries. All we know is he's not going to be in WWE anymore, and it not only it gives that glaring statement on the cruiserweight division. It's been said that while some of the guys are just happy to be in WWE, the division isn't being treated well. I mean, if you think about this, it's not treated right. As in, their show 205 Live goes on after SmackDown. So basically, you've got the crowd that's already gone through the ups and downs of SmackDown, and most of them just want to leave and go home. And then you decide to put 205 Live on. Then, of course, you also have where it just always seems like the cruiserweight match is the kickoff of Raw pay-per-views, because technically the cruiserweight division is part of Raw. And I can see somebody being frustrated with that. And probably a lot of guys are frustrated, but Austin Aries is more vocal about frustrations than most people. And to be honest, if you're not happy somewhere, why stay there? Of course, right now I'd be happy to be anywhere. But anyway, this could be an indictment on how WWE is treating the cruiserweight division as a whole. We here at the Guido Goes Off, of course, wish Austin Aries the best of luck. Look to see him again very, very soon. Another big shock last night happened to be AJ Styles defeating Kevin Owens for the United States Championship at the WWE SmackDown house show in Madison Square Garden last night. As anyone who's been watching SmackDown knows, AJ Styles won the Independence Day Battle Royal, which guaranteed him a title shot at the next Battleground, the next SmackDown pay-per-view. Well, I guess what happened. I wasn't there. New York's here. I'm here-ish. Anyway, I wasn't there, but from what I gathered was an exchange happened between the two, and AJ said he didn't want to wait until Battleground, and so they had the match, and he won. And the internet's in a tizzy, wondering if the reason why they stripped or why they took the title off Owens so quickly was it because they're thinking wellness policy violation. No. Basically, what I think is happening is just simply that they are building drama for Battleground in this feud. I like to say this feud had grown, but it's just kind of a, you know what I mean? It just, and it sucks. I mean, SmackDown usually has great television, but not everything is. I'm sorry, North is down here, and she's licking herself. But like I said, it's there's no, it just. You need that extra oomph. And maybe an exchange of the titles, before Battleground could be helpful. Now, let's also take this with a grain of salt. Sometimes the way title changes work on house shows is usually it will be the one person will win it, and then the former champion will invoke a rematch clause the next night in whatever town they're in and take it back. So that could still happen. But again, this happening at Madison Square Garden, which as we all know is near and dear to Vince's heart. That venue. And so it could be they're using it to add drama. It could be just a quick little bloop title change. But, again, who knows? It does add some fuel to the fire for the Battleground feud, and you got two great workers in this feud, so it can really be good. And if anything happens, of course, I will let you folks know. And since I gave him to work my stool, I have to do the rest of the show standing up. Anyway, another big issue I wanted to talk about. I mentioned earlier what Anthem was going to do if Austin Aries went to Global Force. Well, Anthem bought Global Force. It's a very interesting. This is a very interesting development. Last week, I think around Wednesday, the Tennessean, which I believe is I don't know what it is. I think it's like basically all the important stuff that's going on in Tennessee. Was basically reporting that Anthem had bought Global Force Wrestling from Jeff Jarrett. Now, interestingly enough, they have since changed the name of the company. They're dropping TNA altogether and are calling it Global Force Wrestling. Basically, all the titles are going to be like fused together, and they're rebranding it as Global Force Wrestling. Now, the show is going to remain named Impact, but also the bigger issue being that Jeff Jarrett has been named the not only the head of creative, but is an equity owner, meaning he has he has the stroke he's always wanted back in the company, as everybody knows. I think it was around 2000, 2009. He was forced out of the company due to his relationship with Karen, who's now his wife, who at the time was Kurt Angle's wife. But now he has been brought back into the company. He is full-fledged into the company. It's basically they've given him carte blanche. Do the show. So it could get better. As I have said, which I haven't, of course, I haven't been on for a while, so I haven't been able to really give my take on Impact Wrestling as it is now, under the Anthem banner. Where the biggest feud in the company is between two announcers. Let's face facts. I mean, you can do this. You can try and build these feuds with Elpa, who freaking cares. They're trying to build this thing between the wolves. But let's face facts. The biggest feud that the company has had, that has put the most effort into, was Josh Matthews and Jeremy Borash. And you know what? I don't care. I'm moving on. Everybody's giving their 2 cents about this. Even Cornette on his show said it was too little, too late. He doesn't see a future for the company. Again, time will tell, but I don't. You can change the name. You can change the name of it all you want. If you still give a subpar product, you're gonna constantly, even crap has thousands of different names, but it's still crap. And so, really, buying Global Force, taking all their titles, getting all their talent to come in, and all this, unless the change is made in the company, it means nothing. Literally nothing at all. You just, whoop-de-doo, we put another name on the top of the 6-sided logo, and we still got that owl flapping around. It doesn't matter. Unless you change what you're fundamentally doing wrong as a company, you're missing the point. And I still believe that, I hope that Anthem is ready to lose a lot of money over this. Dang it. Because that's what's going to happen. Wrestling businesses, it's hard to turn a profit in wrestling. Always has been, always will be. It took WWE forever to become the global magnate that it is now. And so you can keep trying. Okay, well, we're TNA Impact Wrestling. Now we're just Impact Wrestling. Now we got an owl flying around. Now we're Global Force Wrestling. Impact. Boobs. Because yes, that's where the name TNA came from. Let's face facts. Again, it's, unless you make those fundamental changes to just have a good wrestling show, an alternative to WWE, where you don't talk about WWE. Are you hearing me, Alberto? Where you completely ignore the fact that there's another promotion going on. You act like you're the only game in town. You do nothing to mention another company. I'm still looking at you, Alberto. You say nothing about that company. That company does not exist. When people come in from that company, you're like, hey, look at this exciting guy that came from Guam or something. I don't know. Something. You figure something out other than WWE sucks, we rule. Yeah, you don't do that. You build your own business. It's dirt simple. Sorry. There's no other company other than your company. Whether you are tiny little outlaw promotion, to an indie, to the NWA, to a Ring of Honor, to Impact, to WWE. You do not acknowledge that there is another company unless you are bringing those people in and you're feuding with them and you're trying to get like I said, you can give it all the names you want. If you don't change the what's fundamentally wrong with your product, you're going to constantly have a bad product done. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into this episode of The Guido Goes Off. I'm hoping that now, since things have kind of opened up a bit, I will get some more episodes in. Myself and the usual gang, we will be doing of course, a review of Great Balls of Fire tomorrow night, so we hope you stay tuned for that. So until then, what did you guys think of what are your opinions on the topics I covered tonight? As always, you can always drop a line in the comments section below, and as always, my social media is available for your discussing pleasure. So until next time, for North, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.